Hello, good people of Twitch and the internet, even though there's no one there. Today is Monday, and for me, currently, that means playing Railway Empire 2. And we have a game. We're still on the campaign, we're still doing the first level of it. Do I want to take the autosave? Sure. Maybe. And so what we were doing with this, can I pause it? I can. Just to recap where we were. The campaign level 1 starts you off in the northeast. I think does it give you a station in Boston? Maybe. And basically you get connection bonuses to start off here and connect a few things up around this place, and then maybe a few further west. I'm pretty much just doing what the game expects you to do, in the sense that it provides a task list. There isn't a way to go back and see the previous tasks, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, there might be. But if you can, I don't know how to show it now. Anyway, so, you know, the basic things are to connect these two and to grow it a bit. And what we have is something which goes all the way from Bangor up here in the northeast to Buffalo, which is, you know, I mean, as far as things go, this is America and this is northeast, and it's, you know, New York to, well, Canada, I guess. So it's not exactly New York State, because New York City's over here. It's not exactly too far. Well, it's still a good line. Anyway, so we are just following what it's been suggesting for us to do. At the end of last stream, I was starting to get annoyed by a couple of bugs that were appearing with the game. So with some trains which are completely full, it would appear to reach the station where it was going to offload its cargo, and then instead of stopping like a train would do and offloading its cargo, it would just like drive past it and then turn around, which is really annoying. I assume those are signals. In fact, have there been signals in this game? I think it mentioned there would be signals, but I don't think I've actually seen them. So maybe there has been a patch, and this is why I'm mentioning it. Not just mentioning annoying bugs for no reason, but I'm hoping that one of the latest things in the game, in one of the latest updates, what they fixed in the game is that bug where it goes into a station with all the goods that it's going to offload and then forgets to offload them. If it could do that, that would be great. There's a few things which are being highlighted. I mean, okay, maintenance and breakdowns is fine. I mean, it's not fine, but, you know, expected to some degree. I do have a lot of cash, so trying to work out what I want to do with that cash is the next step. I think some of the last things I did were it offered a connection bonus for this place, did it? So I just connected that, even though I don't really need sugar because I've got sugar down here. There's sugar, right? Yes. And so yeah, I did that. I also connected up Robinson's Rest because of the timber yard, the logging camp here. And I was hoping to feed that directly into Albany, which I now have done. I have this nice line which then turns into an ugly line and a huge bridge. I mean, I suppose it could be described as pretty if you like bridges. And swoops around and joins up to Albany there. And even though I have lumber up here, what I wanted to do in Boston was to create this timber yard to turn the lumber into wooden planks. But the AI got there first. Anyway, so maybe I'll try and starve Boston, make that business go under. But equally, maybe I shouldn't, because wooden planks are still useful. Anyway, So we have money to do something. I may expand up to here because there's some vegetables. Yeah. And what is this? Clay. There's also some coal here. And these will be useful later to build something. Don't ask me what. But yes, the things to focus on is getting Albany to be 60,000 citizens. So maybe I'll need to build a library there. But have I... But yeah, I've built a dairy production place here. And it's now losing me money because dairy is not one of the earlier goods in the game. So they've maxed out the want of the good. In fact, you know, they don't necessarily even want the good, which means I don't think anyone else does too. I think I said, so I have a line between Albany and Buffalo, just making lots of money. No, that's the Express. This one, what is that one doing? What's the turn on? Oh no, this one is technically going all the way to Albany. As I say, I haven't played this in 10 days or so. So I'm just catching up. So yes, maybe I'll need to just see if I can get some of that cheese being used because it's losing me money having that business. You have a breakdown. You're waiting to be loaded. So yes, as well as that business not really then producing anything, it means my dairy farm isn't really doing much either because the dairy's coming in here and not being used. So I need to spread out the dairy, I think. And hopefully having more freight going between this and here and maybe here and here would be a good idea. Maybe. There is a warehouse. But yeah, and if you haven't seen any of these before, there's a bit of a mishap that's happened in the sense that these two are my freight over on this side. Or is it the other way around? No, sorry, these two are my freight here, but these two are my freight here, and I don't have a crossover. And I'm considering building that crossover now, just so I can, even though it would be a bit manual, it may be worth doing. Because at the moment I'm having to use this as like a complete stop for all the goods. I don't have that many. Well, you know, there's a warehouse here and there's a warehouse here, and I'm having to like do some weird ferrying between the two to get them to talk to each other, or you know, exchange goods. So if I look at Boston's, you know, warehouse, it has all these goods. So it also wouldn't be storing. You know, maybe it shouldn't store sugar because it doesn't need to. But it could store something like cheese. But to get cheese there, or dairy, because does Boston have a need for dairy? Yeah, places would have a need for milk itself. So before they have a need for the cheese. So in theory, I could use this as a warehouse for milk, and then that wouldn't be waiting all the time. Has Syracuse... It has stock in the city. So yes. Oh no, that's sugar. What am I talking about? It doesn't... You need it to be a relatively large city. And it's got 22,000 and that, you know, only has the desire from 35,000. As you might expect. So... Yes, there is demand for it over here. Maybe I need to get it over here. Maybe I need to fix the line over here. Anyway, we're focusing on the tasks, but we also need to deliver the corn. And I figure... Do you have corn in stock? No. Oh yeah, that was one of the things. I have this corn place here. And it has plenty of storage, and the train, which goes from here to here and beyond, should take the corn, but it was failing to. It was having the bug where it was going into the station and not doing that. So that's one thing we need to fix, or just check if it is fixed. Expanding out here is maybe another thing. We need to deliver. So yeah, delivering corn and expanding Albany are the main things we're trying to do. So in expanding Albany, we go to the station. and it has 2 buildings already. I don't know if there's... You can construct city buildings. So it suggests in here, can be constructed in cities over 50,000 citizens and increase citizen happiness. And so they have less demand, effectively. And then the other 2 are kind of similar, but for much big cities. So I think it makes sense, whilst I have some cash, to build this in. Not near the station, but very well. Just in case, for whatever reason, I want to build another station right here. I wouldn't do that, I don't think, but even still. In terms of loans and stuff, because, you know, everyone wants to hear about loans. I'm maxed out. I can't have any more cash. I mean, I could just buy into industries if I wanted to. Or if I was going to build up here, then I could buy these businesses out. Because I need veg, maybe at some point. Privately owned. So yes, if I wanted to buy this, 90,000. I might as well just buy it now. Did I put... Because I think it would go to Syracuse quite nicely. And you could even have a thing that goes up here and comes back down this line. Yeah, I think I left it open to do that down here. Even though it's a big mountain, we look at the contours. So that would have to skirt around the coast. The riverbank. But yeah, you could have a thing which then makes the trip from here to Syracuse directly for the dairy. Don't know. Anyway, let's make an assumption that we are going to buy these buildings. If you buy them after you connect them, it will cost you a lot more. I was worried that someone else is going to bid on it. I guess not. We might as well also buy this one. Oh, my character has a trait or something, which means they pay less. So, you know, the starting bid was 120, but I only paid 84. Great. And now we can create a station. I recently acquired this rural business. I am aware. Thank you, though. So I have to remind myself how we do this sort of thing. Now the station itself, because it could also be my route up north. So I don't want it, and it also can't be like facing this because I can't build through that area, I think. So I have to do this. Well, that would still have a connection. And it means that if I wanted to build a line that follows this path, I could maybe just bend it in there. Possibly. You can see it's close enough because there's 2 green arrows. So maybe to do that. I'm now trying to bring it closer to this side. But if I do that, I maybe need to turn it a bit more. Yeah, it's hard to know because I can't see where the tracks are going to go. I think that's probably the way to do it. So this is Lee Terminal. And for now, we're just going to build the line down here. I mean the tracks. So we go into track construction. And this is going to be... Well, I've got the express line on this one. And these 2 are freight. So I could have all the express in the middle and have freight on the outside again. And seeing as we want freight, let's do that. So we're going to connect up this end to this end. In fact, that's probably makes sense as well, because we're only wanting that connected for freight at the moment anyway. This has got a bridge in it. Can we get away without a bridge? Maybe if we made it longer, that just makes a longer bridge. Yep, that definitely makes it worse. Right, well, get rid of that, and it's back to where it was then. I mean, there is a gradient there. I was just seeing if I can get rid of the gradient, but I probably could, but I don't need to. I'm going to try and go a tiny bit faster than I did last time, but it's probably not going to happen. Do I want double line? Cannot afford a double line, so let's go with no. I do not want a double line. Building construction. I need a supply tower. The point where the land is equal is probably a sensible place to do it. Not that it really matters. I think you can put it on the bridge and it works it out. Doesn't cost you more. And then we want a rail line, which is purely for freight, although I don't have one which is for freight really. They're all mixed. But it can go fast, not that it needs to. It's more expensive, it has more tractive power. Less popular, which means it's not as good for express. But it is reliable. And consumption? What's consumption? Of, like, sand and stuff, maybe? Anyway. One train. It's going to go from the terminal to Syracuse, and I mean it could go further, but does it need to? Well, it just means it doesn't have to warehouse those goods here, but I probably will warehouse them here, unless I then also make a track to Albany. Except it's not going to be able to go further because this track, it can only come in here and it can't just magically pop over to another track. So yes, it's just going to go there to there. We may have to rethink our warehousing situation. For example, this maybe doesn't need lumber if it can be served directly by Albany having a warehouse. No, that doesn't have a warehouse. Yeah, maybe I need another warehouse, like, I don't know, West Stop or something. Anyway, so we're just going to tell it freight, utilization 12.5%, one train. Oh, I've now unlocked a refrigerator car. Carried on all trains and increases the freight revenue for meat, vegetables, fruits, milk, and dairy products. I mean, it adds 20k, but is it worth it? Is that something I researched? I'm going to go without for now. Cannot perform any actions at the station of Lee Terminal. The train line cannot perform any actions, but it loads freight. Unless I need this. It just says it increases freight revenue. This has access to both of those goods. Edit rail line. Not what I wanted. Where's that train line gone? Did it actually create the rail line, or did I click off of it and then it's like, no, you don't have it anymore? It's called the Lee Terminal, so it's not on that list. Fine, we will click it again. So we are going from here to here. I should hear no complaints from you, game. You're going to load only freight. You say there's utilization. Confirm. Right. According to the setting you made, your train line cannot perform any actions at the station of Lee Terminal. You should check the settings so the trains do not have to make unnecessary stops. I do not know what you mean. Is it because I haven't added a direction? I shouldn't need to, because why would I need a direction on this track? I mean, that would be the next thing you do, to set the direction, but it comes into the station. Track direction, gridiron, buildings. Like, there is this train here. Why? Edit rail line? Choose priority? Well, let's give you some minimum wagons. Is it because this doesn't want the goods? Let me pause. Grain and corn and meat. Let me take off dairy for now. Let me just add in vegetables. Just to see if this makes it wake up. In terms of research as well, because I was falsely balanced. So we made less money, but I think that's because of the bugs, and maybe I need to go and fix things again, but we'll go look at that soon. Or maybe it was just, yeah, it was production really, that cost me. So it did make 14,000. What did you make that 14,000 on? Or was that something else? Maybe it was you. I'm still interested in that one. I also wanted to follow this one because this is full and it really needs to drop off that cargo. Maybe I speed up the game just so we can see this come into the station. You should load things. You're loading vegetables. Good job. So now that I'm storing vegetables here, it will distribute them to the places it has on its direct route. So like Albany, Buffalo. Small breakdown. My maintenance is also not very good. And yeah, maybe it makes sense to have a train that goes here so that my dairy, yeah, it has a direct route here for the, milk can be turned into dairy here, but also then this is a place where it could be warehoused and then brought further to other places. Lots of small breakdowns going on. I mean, I'm almost having a breakdown sometimes. Playing the game, I mean. Anyway, you are storing those goods. Do they actually have a destination? For Albany. Albany. Cool. So it's good that it knows there's a final destination. Did you get your corn? You now have 11 corn in stock. Presumably not all for you. And then more corn. Okay, so maybe it's a sign that the game is not... They have fixed whatever bug they had. And... So yeah, I need to look at my rail lines a bit more. Breakdown, that's fine. I mean, all my express lines are making me lots of money. Banger to Boston. Making some banging bucks. Utilization is not 100%. Or was that something else? Maybe I clicked on something else. But it's not full. At the moment, anyway. It's not looking... Anyway. So there's freight there. There's a run doing Davis Terminal to Albany. I feel like I want to connect up these things just to see if it improves the situation. This is going very slowly. Is there a steep turn there? Are you worried about something up ahead? There is a breakdown over here. That's my Albany to Boston. Like, do I not have enough maintenance depots? Maintenance limit. Automatically service if their condition is below the maintenance limit. But like, maybe I did put a supply tower on this line, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. No, not demolish. Building supply tower. Are you going to show me if there is one? I don't think there is one. Which line are you? So that here's what happens if you put it all the way on the top of the bridge or a high platform. They just make a wall for it, but they don't charge you as much. Comes with the cost. I mean the existing cost in that. Because one of my main concerns, well, obviously getting that 60,000 is a concern. And it is growing, doubly so, which is good to hear. Although it doesn't have all its meat that it needs. I think the meat that it would get would come from Davis Terminal via, from Boston. So having that full connection might be a good idea. Somehow this one's still making money, apparently. It's still making some stops here. Full milk. What else is it getting? So the corn, we now know, is on the way. Vegetables, is it on the way? It's not actually saying. It had some which was... Oh no, that was the vegetables that was earmarked for there. You also need fruit and... How are you getting clothing? Oh, because I was considering, when this grew, to put a clothing warehouse there. But has something else grown to the point where it has a clothing business? That's interesting. Where's it getting its clothes from? Right, this is why you use the flow of goods when you look at clothing. And you ask this. Oh, it's getting it from New York by road. I see. Well, I suppose if that's how it wants to do it, that's how it wants to do it. I'm not going to complain too much. And what else do you need? So fruit, maybe we connect up this fruit here. Because there isn't another one. I don't have a warehouse that would cover it. Which is why I need to connect up Albany and Boston properly. So that freight line can just go from here to here. And also from here to here. But then these two warehouses could be doing different things. And then I could ship more goods across. So yeah, you want fruit. Because you're not really satisfied about that. But you're satisfied enough to grow. 2 industries allowed from 93 are allowed, yes, but fulfillment of demand, like at what point does it say I'm not going to grow because I've got, these on 100%, but I've only got these on 10%. Don't know. Maybe it's the fulfillment of demand if that is clearly blue, which is good, but if it was lower, then maybe not. Maybe 80% is the core number. If I go to tips and tricks, can I search? Having a search would be useful. Economies, cities. As a rule, a city grows when the fulfillment of demand is above 60%, it shrinks when the value is below 40%. Well, there you go. It does answer the question. So there's a long way to go before it reaches 60. So maybe I don't need apples just now. That would be relatively cheap, but there are probably more important things to build. Like, do I connect up the dairy to here? No. Let's do what I've been saying I should do for a while. We're either going to build this freight line to continue to Boston and use up those 2 tracks, and then this one will just be used for that. I think that makes sense. Okay, let's do that. I've talked about it enough. I could even just join up, because then it'll have double freight lines, but we're just going to do it. So that's parallel 99. Cool. I would like to do the next one. I just click that. 100,000. So when I have 100,000 more, well, only 40,000 more, but when I have that, then I can play with the line. Again, some things are going very slowly because it has low condition. Can I just... I thought I put a maintenance depot somewhere. Like Buffalo, Foster, maintenance depot here. But maybe there isn't one between Syracuse and Davis Terminal. I mean, Boston has one. Albany does not. Go on, let's put one in one of them. I mean, slightly annoying that I'm paying for that. I mean, everything's annoying to pay for. I mean, in the sense that I was saving up the 100,000 to build this last bit of track. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like. And if you think you would enjoy more, then please subscribe, or even join me live on Twitch. Whilst it's cliche, all of these will help the channel. On screen is something carefully curated, or something the YouTube algorithm suggests, or maybe even both. In any case, have a great day.